It's London Casimir here with Press Pass LA at the Apple TV premiere of the series Blackbird. It is an exciting night because we are talking to the cast right here on the red carpet. You are not going to want to miss it. What is something that you want them to take away from the first sneak peek here?
This first episode really sets the tone. You get to really meet Taryn's character, and then you get to meet Paul's character, and they're really the heart of the whole show. With Greg and Seppi and Ray also, but those two guys, I think people are going to come away from this show talking about them and them working together and their performance together. So I love that people are going to start to get to see that forming.
And what is the process like? I imagine that there's some pressure there trying to make sure that what you're looking to convey comes across the way you want it to come across. So what is that process like preparing for something like that?
Well, the interesting thing is that when you have a good director, which we had phenomenal directors, you kind of trust that they cast you, first of all, for a reason, because of what you brought in the audition. And then they're going to help shape you and guide you in a way that the storytelling gets told in the way that we want. So it's really like a trust process. And, I can do so much work before I get to set, and I do my work. But then when I get to set, then there's another journey that happens. And because I had so many phenomenal people with Paul and Taryn and the directors to work with, and Joe, and it was just like heaven. Like it was just what you wish for as an actor, to go on the journey like that.
It's an intense series, and I'm excited to watch it, but I can only imagine preparing for something like this. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Depending on the material and the character you're dealing with, there are going to be surprises no matter what. Surprises with the chemistry of the cast you're working with, right? And the reason that's delicious is because you don't know what that dynamic is going to be till you get on the set. When that camera starts rolling and you're in the moment with those actors, it's that talking and listening process, being present in the moment. It's the unknown. It's never, pre-shaped. It's all about spontaneous life in the moment. And when you get into a ring with actors on this project who are just all top shelf, we're talking about pros. So it makes the dance just, like I said, delicious.
This is such a fun night. We're celebrating the soon-to-be release of Blackbird, and it's a really crazy story based on a true story, and I think you're going to be really wowed by the acting, the cinematography. It's really a full-course meal, Yeah.
And how does Blackbird stand out from the other projects that you've done?
Well, they're all good, in my opinion. I like them, but I think this one stands out because it's so dark and gritty. The tension, you could cut it with a freaking serrated blade. It's a thick show. As I said before, I compare it to having a full course meal. Whereas, I do this other show called Cobra Kai on Netflix. You watch that, it's like you're having a snack. It's fun, it's quick. This is Thanksgiving. You may have to lay down after watching this.
What's something you can tell us about the chemistry on set preparing for this role and preparing to work with your castmates?
Yeah, I couldn't really think about working with my castmates because I wouldn't be able to show up to work. I'd be intimidated. With this A-list group of actors, I really hit the jackpot, and I was sure that they'd give it to some big name, but Dennis believed in me, and he told me, let's work on this together. I need your help. She's the only female lead, and she should represent all of womanhood. And so that made it feel like we were colleagues, and he sort of democratized the set and the experience for me, which is empowering. You know, it helped me share my ideas and feel like my voice mattered. The preparation process was rigorous for me, from the physical training to the, learning about the specific case that this story was inspired by, to, speaking with FBI agents, watching documentaries, reading books, articles. But I had an FBI mentor who I would, text and call from set and pick his brain as much as I could to help me throughout the process.
And was that prep overwhelming or intimidating, or it was like motivating and you were like getting fire under your butt over it?
I was addicted. I couldn't stop, and it was hard for me because I'm so sensitive, and that's something that I really admire about Lauren is she is sensitive as well, but she uses that. She channels it into like fuel her engine in her pursuit for justice. And for me, I'd just be sobbing on the couch. I couldn't I'd have to take breaks. But once I started the research process, I really couldn't stop. It's addictive. I understand why people are obsessed with true crime, because it's fascinating. But something that's beautiful about our story is it really does honor victims of these sorts of heinous acts.